Yeah, certainly the two sides have been working hard to set this meeting up for some months now, and there's a lot of anticipation of what's going to happen and the outcomes. I expect there to be a good meeting with few outcomes. Both sides are primarily interested in stabilization of the U.S. China relationship, creating and strengthening communication channels that have atrophied over the last few years between the U.S. and China in order to find a way to coexist, even as they have primarily a competitive or adversarial relationship.
Do you think that a floor now is under this relationship? We've had a lot of high-profile events, if you could call it. There was the balloon incident. We had Nancy Pelosi visiting Taiwan. Coming up, 2024 is also an election year. The United States, or Biden in any way, can't appear soft on China. You expect him to continue his competitive stance against China?
I do, and I expect and hope that China accepts this new reality in the relationship, that it is primarily competitive. China, for its part, is taking competitive measures against the United States, but at the same time that the two sides continue to communicate and value stability. Because if they value stability and conflict avoidance, then the worst impacts of a degradation in the relationship, which could have massively negative global impact, can be avoided. So I'm hopeful for 2024 that the two leaders can find a way to keep things on a slow boil, but it'll take care and maintenance by both governments.
Of course, you have a lot of interest here in Hong Kong, being that you were the former Consul General for the United States. I want to get your take on Hong Kong sending Financial Secretary Paul Chan to the event. For reasons not including the U.S. sanctions on him. He's got scheduling issues. How important is it for Hong Kong to have a seat at the table at a summit like this and for Hong Kong to be present?
So I am glad that Hong Kong decided essentially to swallow its pride on this issue and send Paul Chan to APEC. It's a missed opportunity that John Lee can't go, because he would have learned a lot by meeting with the other leaders about the global economy and Hong Kong's place in it. Paul is an excellent proxy for that purpose. But I think it is important for Hong Kong to be represented. It's a unique situation where Hong Kong, like in the WTO, has its own seat at the table to express its views on the global economy. And that expression of the, if you will, two systems part of Hong Kong's essence